So over here I've got some Cobras set up for our laser tag event here today, and I've got the red ones here, and we've got 10 of those out, and I've got 10 blue ones over here. I put them on a tarp because that way they don't fall any further. I don't like putting them on tables. It's easier people just drop them down on the tarp and pick them up off the ground. We've set them to hard mode, and they're on free hit points with laser tag language. So the idea of free hit points is that they can be deactivated in 1.5 seconds, which really worked well because we're going to be running a domination game today, which in laser tag we call capture and hold. And so walking across the field over here, I've got some Coleman inflatables. I can just show you those. And there is the Dom box for a capture and hold. And in the middle we've got some inflatables of the hero shapes, the big ones. These are fantastic for this sort of event. Yes, they do take a bit of setup, and they're 30 kilograms each, but they do look fantastic. But they're still soft play. Even if you run into them, they're fine. One of the great things about these big shapes is it's been pretty windy here. This is day 2, and these have not been staked in, and they haven't gone anywhere. They've stayed exactly where we put them, and that is the advantage, having actually a bit of weight behind them. If you get a really light one, I know it's easier, but they will blow. And with inflatables, last thing you want to blow. We've got some Colemans here. You can see the pretty much standard sort of paintball ones we spread around the edges, and we have the bunkers as well, which are probably a little bit better. But all in all, you just build a field. This one, the idea is to build like a house complex. So I'm going to walk through this house complex here. It's like our shed. We've got a building. Now, one of the things about setting up inflatables is that we try not to put too often the doorways opposite each other. It tends to collapse. I like this structure here. I've got a window and a window forming an L shape. It could be a window on a wall, and then I've got over here we've got a window, and then there's a door, and another door. So if you get an L, if they do deflate a bit, they won't tend to collapse in on each other. If you end up with two doorways opposite each other, they do have a bit of a tendency to collapse. This is our trailer here, laser tag in a box, and we've got a trailer to remove all the inflatables. We did have the Land Cruiser pulling it, but that's been pulled off site for the event. But here's some kids arriving, so this event's about to start now, really. So the laser tag will be kicking off here shortly. Sometimes I put inflatables actually inside the buildings to make a little bit of a maze, so that they act like furniture. So that's another idea you can have, particularly running in a small area. One thing I'd really like to note, I'm going to take a bit of a long shot here. I really like to keep the there's some people coming over crying about laser tag here to play, maybe to find out about our field. Also, we promote our woods game and from here as well as people renting and running events. But you see, I keep it pretty dense. Like, you keep the inflatables together. You don't want to spread them out. Even if you've got a big area, don't spread your inflatables out too far. There really should be just a small gap, and I'll show you this gap here. Yeah, there's one there. A bit of windy today. We just had one of them blow over, but before the game we'll just pop it back up. So there's a couple metre gap. That's about as much as you ever want. Don't leave big gaps between them. So and over here I've got a medic box, and the opposite side I've got a medic box as well for respawns. Unlimited respawns, of course, for the domination style game called capture and hold here. And there's one, I'm just walking around the other side. There's one actually over this other side. So the idea is that I'm running a bit of a triangle for both teams. The objective's at the far end. So there's the box I turn around the far end. Right at the end of the field is going to be an objective. So they're pretty much the maximum distance, but I've structured it so if I stand here next to this medic box and look this way, I can't see the other box. So the two teams do start out of sight of each other. So this is a pretty workable field. Certainly can run 10 on 10, 20 players, no problem at all in here. So I hope this little video has been really helpful to see how you set up a field and run a laser tag event.